Hi, I'm Kimberly Washburn, Curator of Education at the Florence County Museum. Welcome to October's Family Day at Home. This month, our theme is Fall Fun. In this activity, we're going to be using fall leaves to create a fun printmaking artwork. So, you're going to need to gather a few things from your Family Day at Home kit. You're going to need your blue sheet of paper, your 2 sheets of newsprint, your 3 cups of tempera paint. I have red, orange, and brown, a small sponge, and you're going to need to gather a few things from around your home. You're going to need a cup of water. You might need a pair of scissors. And you're going to need to take a walk around your yard or your neighborhood and gather some fall leaves. I've gathered a collection of leaves from the museum's courtyard area to use in this project. Just use what's available to you. Go out in the yard, take a walk, and gather 5 or 6 different types of leaves. Leaves that have a good vein texture are great choices for this project, like this fig leaf. It has a lot of raised texture, so it's going to make a nice print. So I'm going to prepare to create my prints. The first thing I would like to do is get my sheet of newsprint, and I'm going to set it down on the table. And then I'm going to choose a leaf. And I want to find out which side of the leaf is the side with texture. That's usually the back side of the leaf. So the front side is very smooth, but the back side of the leaf has a lot of great texture. So that's the side I'm going to apply paint to. If you have a stem on your leaf that sticks up, like this one does, you're going to want to cut that off because it's going to get in your way. So I'm going to cut that off. Next, I'm going to use my sponge to apply paint to the back of this leaf. Now, you might want to just work in one area of your newsprint because you're going to be doing this several times with several leaves in different colors, and that'll just give you fresh spaces to work each time. So I'm going to apply paint to the back of my leaf. And your hands might get a little bit messy in this activity, and you might want to make sure you're wearing something that wouldn't get too messed up if it got paint on it. Tempera paint usually washes out pretty well, but just in case. So you want to put kind of a thin layer of paint. You don't want it to be too thick on your paper. Now, I'm going to slide my newsprint out of the way and pick up my blue paper. Now, I just need to decide where I want this leaf print to be. So I'm going to put this one kind of on that edge. I'm going to use my clean sheet of newsprint right on top to just give it a little press onto the paper. The newsprint on top will help protect me from my hands from smearing any extra paint anywhere. You can see there's some paint smears here. So that just kind of protects my hands, keeps my hands clean. You also want to make sure that you're pressing from the center out. So you want to make sure that you're getting all of the edges of that leaf. Okay, you can lift up your newsprint and then just lift up your leaf. And look at that print. You can get some amazing textures with leaf prints. Now I think I'm going to try, you can slide this leaf. You might want to use this one again, so you could leave it on your newsprint or you could slide it to the side. I'm going to use, this is a series of indigo leaves, and I'm going to switch colors. So when I switch colors, I'm going to use my water just to rinse out my sponge. Might be handy to have a paper towel nearby. Again, your hands are going to get a little messy, and that's okay. Just going to use a little bit of brown paint for these leaves. And remember to find the textured side. Oh, and if we take a look at this, you'll notice that the paint doesn't want to stick to these leaves very easily. So you may have to go over them a couple times to get enough paint to stick. It will stick after I blob it some. Different leaves act differently when we put the paint on them. So that's just another learning experience. All right, so I was able to get the paint to stick finally. I'm gonna slide that out of the way, flip that over to the back. I think I want this one right in the middle. I'm gonna use my newsprint again and just give that a nice rub on the paper. I'm gonna keep repeating this with my fall leaves all over my paper. I wanna try to fill my paper with prints from the leaves that I've found around, for me, the museum, but for you, your neighborhood or areas nearby. That's a beautiful print. And keep testing. Some leaves may give you better prints than others. Some leaves with lots of great texture, like this one, for example, might give you a lot better print than a leaf with not very much texture. But you could also be surprised and see that you get a better print than you think. I also like to pick leaves that have fun shapes. Fig leaves are always wonderful choices for prints and rubbings because they have a really interesting shape. It's a good idea to dab the paint into the veins of the leaves, especially if you have a leaf with lots of texture. Okay, just a little more. You'll notice my hands are very painty, so this can be a messy activity, but also a very fun one. All right, I'm gonna use a different area of my newsprint now to press down. So that newsprint comes in handy, and if you run out, you can always use some old newspaper or a paper towel, something that can help keep your hands as clean as possible and keep your print nice and clean as well. This is a fun exercise to document things that are growing in your yard or in your neighborhood at different times of year. This is what's growing and available in the fall of 2021, right in the museum's courtyard. I hope that you enjoy exploring the different types of prints you can get from fall foliage around the area that you live in.